All right, we have a graphing a exponential function, and luckily they give us the graph here because I don't have a graphing calculator to actually view that. So for number one, they give us the graph and they're asking us use the graph on the right to answer the following key features. So given this graph, what is going on here? And luckily, this is an easy to read graph. It's not too complicated. So let's just kind of start with the top and work our way down. Actually, there is a very important line here, and it's red on my paper. I don't know if it comes through. Yeah, it looks like it'll come through. This little dash line here, this dash line is the asymptote. So the asymptote is just that that imaginary line that the graph seems to kind of peters off. It slows down and never ever crosses it. I know it kind of looks like it crosses it, but it never does cross it. So this line is a very important line to know where it is because it kind of tells me other stuff about my key features. So if I look at this red dotted line, it looks like it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so -5. So the asymptote is at y equals -5. And the reason I start there, you could have started at domain. Domain's actually super easy. But the reason I started there is because the asymptote tells me about my range. Looking at my graph, this is a growth problem. So y is going to be bigger than or greater than -5 for the range. So y is greater than -5. Remember, it's not greater than or equal to because it actually never gets to -5. It has to be bigger than -5. Domain, there are no limits. This will go forever and ever and ever to the left. This will go forever and ever up and to the right. So it's all real numbers. The end behavior, looking at the graph, remember as x increases, that means you're going that way. So as x goes this way, what's happening to y? Well, the y is getting higher and higher and higher, and it'll go on forever. So it'll approach positive infinity. As x decreases, which means now you're moving from the right to the left. So starting here and decreasing this direction, it approaches, well, it doesn't keep going forever and ever down. It stops right here. Well, it doesn't stop. It just kind of tapers off. It approaches the asymptote, which we've already identified is -5. So as x decreases, f of x, or y, will decrease up until it reaches -5. And finally, the y-intercept. And I said this graph looks good because it has a very easy y-intercept. There's no decimal places here. Remember, the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, this axis here. Or in other words, you can think about when x is 0, what is y? So 0 on the x-axis is here. So where does that cross my line? Looks like -4. So at 0, -4, or you could just say the y-intercept is -4. Either one of those works, but make sure you know all or how to find all of those key features, and especially the end behavior. The end behavior is definitely something that people get wrong a lot, but hopefully, after you've done this, it makes a little bit more sense.